that we could part ways as amicably as possible.
But that's where my confusion lies. You said it was for general fit, but then you also just mentioned that there was a complaint being made.
Yes, there's both. So when we look at it holistically and examine it, just ultimately not being the right fit for this role is really what it comes down to. But there were also complaints that were made, so I want you to know that.
Is that an internal complaint?
There was more than one complaint.
In regard to?
Fit for the role.
That's so, I mean, I understand that you know, it's HR and you have to be, protect yourself in this, but without any specifics, how am I supposed to correct that? Or understand where the complaint is coming from or stems from?
Right. No, listen, Mack, I completely agree, and unfortunately, it's not something that I can go into further, other than just the general description of it's not the right fit. We want to make sure that we're gonna share this in the best way possible, and we believe it's the best resolution for everyone involved. So, that's the most I can share, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's super, super unfortunate.
So, just to give you a little background, about a month ago, after numerous interviews and meeting with the local team and my field manager, I got hired back into the alcohol industry. I once was on the spirit side of things, and then this new role was on the beer side of the portfolio. And, everything was going great. I was making good relationships with the local team and the beer distributors, and I had a successful St. Patty's Day, but I was still in training. So everything was virtual, and I really didn't have the opportunity to mess anything up yet. Same people who hired me in the previous role hired me on for this one. And I got that call unexpectedly saying that I was no longer a good fit. I had to do a lot of deep reflection on, dang, what could I have done that this just came out of nowhere? Everything was being super well received and good interactions with everyone. Then it was brought to my attention that someone who I worked with in the past found out I got back in the industry and began to continue to slander my name as being racist and homophobic and all these things that people like to paint me as now that I'm speaking my truth. And it's really interesting because those people were once my friends. They we would go out together, have a good time. When they assumed that since I was gay, my ideals fell in line with these virtuous ideals that are going on in the world right now, or being more on the liberal side of things. And once I really had my awakening and started living my truth and speaking it very vocally, and I know that's on me, they painted this picture. So it was all rooted in fear, which, if you know me, I told you fear is no longer a part of my reality. So what do? They cancel me. They, just like everything else is getting canceled, I was canceled once again. And this isn't a video to make myself the victim, because I broke out of the victim mindset too. It's really just to kind of paint the picture, like, people are going to have their own ideas. And if you don't fit, in congruency of what they want or what they expect, then they're going to make this whole new narrative. And with my awakening, I've got this better understanding of a higher power, the universe, source, God, whatever, that there's always this safety net underneath me. But why the planet is so crazy right now is because all these fear agendas are being dismantled. With the 9-to-5 work life or working remotely, or the school system, the pharmaceutical system, corruption in our government, racism, political injustice, it's all coming up to be revealed. And it's basically like the curtain has been pulled. So it might seem like the world's getting worse or more intense, but really it's just coming to the surface to finally be cleared. I also want you to know that you can speak your truth and you'll be okay. You're allowed to embody that, and it's so empowering to not give a fuck anymore, that you'll always be good. I did this whole past year basically living the nomad life and the retired life. Right when you think you're about to run out of money, comes out of nowhere. Right when you think, I've lost so many friends and family, someone else comes up. So giving yourself that grace to just be authentic, it's a really powerful spot to be. And I encourage you guys to start speaking your truth. Don't go with the herd mentality. Don't always just follow because it's the popular or the, you know, thing that's being signaled everywhere to do. You're allowed to think critically for yourself and really tap back into your intuition on what sits right with your soul. I'm actually super excited and pumped for what's next in life. I've been able to, you know, I made a video almost a year ago from going from spirits, selling spirits, to spirituality. And this was kind of God's way or Source's way of realigning and say, we told you, you're done with that. So I'm really excited to kind of continue with the breath work and the other healing modalities, and it's good. Things are really good. Even when they're bad, they're good, because after you awaken to everything and the false narratives and deception, whatever, you see things from this macro level view. You can kind of see the full map being painted before it's done. So I guess I really just encourage you guys to don't be living in fear. Fear will rob you. And while we live in this matrix that's created in fear, you're going to continue to see stuff like this happen. But just know, like, that authenticity will always, always, always overpower the fear. I love you guys. Reach out if you want to do a breathwork class, or if you want to talk about some of more of this esoteric, you know, crystals and all the other crazy stuff that I've been getting into. Get outside. Don't wear your mask out here. It bothers. I've got people 15 feet away from me outside in the sun wearing their mask. Stop. But that's just on me. I know you got to do what's best for you, and that's probably something I need to get over too. Is like, they got to do what's best for them, and wherever you're at in your level of consciousness, that's the reality you got to live. I love you more than you know, and we'll talk soon.